Milan and Helm the stars as Glamorgan left in tatters. Second place Glamorgan, who start the day 7 points behind Lancashire, have county captain Chris Cook back after an ankle injury for this visit of Middlesex. Former England paceman Steve Finn is missing for Middlesex, but Welshman James Harris returns from a broken thumb to face his old club. Middlesex won the toss and elected to bat, and it was Eskenazi who started brightest, finding 3 boundaries in the first 3 overs to give Middlesex a solid start. But it didn't last long, as in the 8th over, Eskenazi's opening partner Sam Robson was caught behind off the bowling of Carey. A few overs later and they were 2 down. Again Carey doing the damage with the ball, Gubbins out without scoring. Milan would join Eskenazi in the middle and the pair would fire some more boundaries to push the Middlesex score past 50. But as Eskenazi was looking settled, he was then gone. Graham wagged the bowler and Eskenazi nicking to a diving Chris Cook, gone for 36. The next over, Michael Hogan joined in by trapping George Scott LBW without playing a shot. Middlesex 4 wickets down. But Milan was to rebuild for his side as the captain held the innings together with some much needed runs. In the 23rd over he was able to fire 3 boundaries in 4 balls. He was being well supported at the other end by a resilient Josh Simpson. A welcome partnership this for the visitors as they would move past a 50 stand together and reach lunch with the score looking much more healthy than it could have been. 115 for 4, what would the second session hold in store? Simpson would depart soon after lunch though, Hogan the bowler and again Cook with the catch. It was looking like a one-man show for Middlesex as White didn't last long at the crease, gone for 2 runs, Hogan picking up his 3rd wicket. Roland-Jones would join Milan at the middle with Middlesex 6 wickets down, and there was pressure on these two in the middle. But they started to play with real confidence out there and the runs were flowing as the afternoon wore on. They would bring up the 200 runs for Middlesex and they were increasingly looking to frustrate their hosts. Roland-Jones was soon celebrating his half-century with a lovely off-drive, making it back-to-back championship 50s for him. But as tea was looming, a big moment. Roland-Jones was gone, ending this Middlesex stand of 95 runs. Roland-Jones gone for 54. Tea would arrive with Milan 94 not out and hoping to move to his century in the evening session. In the evening session, Middlesex captain Milan would reach that vital century from 145 balls, including 15 boundaries. Shortly after that, Tom Helm was removed by Lucas Carey for 7 runs. But that just brought Souter to the crease, who along with Milan put on the afterburners and really took the attack to the bowlers. In 1 Carey over, Souter hit 2 4s and a 6. He was in attacking mood. Milan was also hitting maximums as these two were showcasing devastating hitting, and it really was a partnership to put a completely different complexion on proceedings here. These two adding 47 runs in just over 6 overs. Souter would have to retire hurt shortly after reaching a brilliant 50. But Milan was not holding back as he hit Hogan for 6, 4, 6 in 3 successive balls. Milan passed 150 and playing like a man possessed. Murtagh was the 9th wicket to fall as he was caught for 8 runs. It meant Souter came out once more, but not for long. The very next ball, Milan's incredible knock came to a close, caught off the bowling of Carey for 166 runs. Phenomenal hitting, Middlesex all out for 384 runs. And in response, Glamorgan got off to a shaky start. 1 wicket down for 7 runs, Tom Helm squared up Nick Selman and he edged to Milan at second slip. It was to be 2 and over, Carey heading out as night watchman, he didn't last long. Excellent bowling by Helm. Helm would claim a 3rd victim shortly after, devastating bowling once more and Glamorgan rocking with 3 wickets lost. And guess what? Helm wasn't done yet. He would have a 4th wicket before the close of play. Hemphrey bowled this time, Helm with remarkable figures of 4 for 8. Glamorgan would reach the close of play at 25 for 4 and in all sorts of trouble heading into day 2. Middlesex will be delighted with the efforts of Milan with the bat and Helm with the ball. They have put the visitors in a dominant position. Middlesex in pole position after 2 days. A dramatic first day yesterday as Milan's superb 166 dragged Middlesex to a strong position at 384 all out against Glamorgan, who then subsequently crashed to 25 for 4 in reply, with Tom Helm claiming all 4 late wickets. Could Glamorgan recover on day 2? Root and Lloyd out in the middle, and they were finding boundaries early on, with Lloyd hitting 2 in 2 balls in the 13th over. Root joined in with a flurry of 4s in the next few overs, and Glamorgan were going along nicely. But Root was to go in the 23rd over for 32 runs. With big brother Joe playing in the World Cup final today, Billy was looking in good nick too, but he edged a rip snorter from Roland-Jones. Lloyd would remain unperturbed and was still on the front foot, firing to the ropes as he moved towards his 50. And he would reach his half-century before lunch, 8 4s and 63 deliveries taking him to that milestone. Lunch would arrive shortly after and signal a good morning session for Glamorgan, losing just 1 wicket and Lloyd looking in fine fettle. Glamorgan 128 for 5. The first over of the afternoon saw Chris Cook hit a boundary off Roland-Jones. But a few overs later he was out, Roland-Jones getting some payback as he skittled him for 19. Then the wickets started to fall quickly. Doothwaite departed next for 2 runs, caught by Scott off the bowling of Murtagh. Roland-Jones would strike next as he saw off the excellent Lloyd, out for 67 runs, caught behind by Simpson. Roland-Jones would find his 4th wicket of the innings as Wag was out next, caught by Milan for 4 runs, Glamorgan 9 down. 4 overs later and the innings was all wrapped up, with Helm securing his 5-fer. Excellent bowling by Helm, and Glamorgan all out for 171, some way off the 384 of their opponents. Middlesex would kick off their second innings in stuttering fashion as they lost a wicket in the 3rd over. Eskenazi gone for 5 runs, Carey the bowler, the catch taken by Hemfrey. Gubbins would enter the fray, and soon after making it out to the middle, he would hit 3 boundaries in 1 Hogan over. He was on the front foot. But his attacking play was halted as he was out for 13, caught by Lloyd off the bowling of Hogan. A few overs later and a big 3rd wicket fell. The dangerous Milan run out for 6, a big difference to the 166 runs he scored in the first innings, and with that it was tea. Middlesex 49 for 3, leading by 262 runs with 7 wickets remaining. Middlesex would look to extend their lead in the evening session, and Robson and Scott were able to find a flurry of boundaries. Scott was looking good, but he was then bowled by Doothwaite for 23, leaving Middlesex 4 down. Simpson would come in and along with Robson would find the ropes with some excellent hitting. Both players were well set and both players were closing in on their half-centuries. Robson was the first to get there in the 35th over, a superbly crafted 50. Simpson wasn't too far behind and his half-century came at quite a rate, 52 off 65 balls, wonderful hitting. These two would continue to bat well out in the middle, but Simpson wouldn't survive the day. Out for 56, caught by Root. It was to be the last action of the day. Middlesex have got themselves into a very strong position after 2 days. They lead by 402 runs and will be looking to pile on more runs in the morning. Middlesex in complete control after day 3. Middlesex have a formidable lead of 402 over Glamorgan at 189 for 5 in their second innings, going into day 3 in Cardiff. A half-century from Simpson and an unbeaten 73 from Robson have helped Middlesex build up this healthy lead on their hosts, and Glamorgan will need an excellent day to avoid a defeat in this encounter. An early wicket would fall though, as White was gone for 1 run, caught by Cook off the bowling of Hogan. The next over, Roland-Jones would depart too, as Middlesex made a faltering start to day 3, 7 wickets down now. Helm joined Robson in the middle and was able to find a couple of boundaries. Robson looked determined not to be put off by the early wickets as he moved into the 90s as his century was looming. But before he could get there, Helm was out for a well-made 38, caught and bowled by Labuschagne. A couple of overs later and Robson was celebrating his 100. A wonderful century coming off 192 balls. The next over, Sauter would depart for 3 runs to leave Middlesex 9 down. With 1 wicket left and already a sizable lead, this gave Robson and the last batsman Murtagh free rein to put on the afterburners. And they did so in entertaining fashion, Robson hitting a 6 off Labuschagne, before Murtagh followed up with 3 fours in a row off the same bowler. Robson would also fire a hat-trick of 4s a couple of overs later. It was fireworks from Middlesex to really rub salt in the Glamorgan wounds, but the fun would come to a close with the wicket of Murtagh for 33. 342 all out, Middlesex setting Glamorgan a mammoth 556 to win, or 5 sessions to survive after some carefree hitting in the Cardiff sunshine. So a daunting task for the Glamorgan batsmen, and in the 8th over after lunch they would lose a first wicket. Selman gone as Helm again showed his excellent form, Glamorgan 14 for 1. But after that, Hemphrey and Labuschagne would show some sticking power. It was resilient batting with some boundaries thrown in for good measure. Hemphrey perhaps more watchful of the two, with Labuschagne showing more attacking threat. But they were both moving the score along well. Tea was reached with Glamorgan 94 for 1 wicket, still 462 runs behind. Shortly into the evening session, Labuschagne would move to his half-century. He would be heading back to the pavilion a few overs later as he was trapped LBW by Roland-Jones for a score of 51. Lloyd would join Hemphrey in the middle, with Hemphrey not too far away from his own half-century as he was moving through the 40s. Lloyd settled quickly, firing a couple of Sauter deliveries to the boundary. But then the bowler would get his revenge shortly after as he trapped Sauter LBW for a score of 19 runs. A few overs later and Billy Root was gone cheaply, out for 4 runs, trapped LBW by Roland-Jones. And the very next over, another wicket, Chris Cook gone for 3 runs as he was also out LBW, this time off the bowling of Murtagh. Another wicket would fall with Sauter getting in on the LBW action, this time trapping Douthwaite gone for 9 runs. Wagg and Hemphrey would steer Glamorgan to the close of play at 171 for 6 in this second innings, a massive 385 runs behind with just 4 wickets to play with. It will take something really special to avoid defeat tomorrow. Middlesex inflict Glamorgan's first loss of the season. Middlesex began day 4 on the verge of their 3rd win of the season after setting Glamorgan a mammoth 556 to win. The home side stumbled to 171 for 6 in 66 overs, despite 50s for Charlie Hemphrey and Marnus Labuschagne. Hemphrey and Wagg out in the middle would make solid starts in the morning session as they looked to delay the Middlesex celebrations. A few boundaries coming and even a 6 for Wagg off the bowling of Milan. These two were showing some sticking power. That is until the new ball was taken and it was Roland-Jones who struck immediately. Hemphrey caught behind for 72. It breaks his partnership of 62 with Graham Wagg. That brought Marchant de Lange to the crease, who played a memorable over of cricket as he carted Murtagh all round the park. He hit 3 4s and 2 6s in the space of 5 deliveries. Quite incredible hitting, and he was not allowing his side to go down without a fight. The next over, Wagg would go as he fell short of his half-century. Gone for 40 runs, again it was Roland-Jones doing the damage. De Lange would hit another 6 later in that over though. Carey didn't last long in the middle as Roland-Jones picked up another wicket to leave Glamorgan 9 down. Roland-Jones claiming yet another fifer. He is in sparkling form. Hogan would join de Lange in the middle and the two of them would continue to entertain with some adventurous shot making. De Lange closing in on a rapid fire 50. He would be left unbeaten on 45 though, because Hogan would fall at the other end for 22, caught by Scott off the bowling of Sauter. Middlesex beat their hosts by 256 runs to inflict Glamorgan's first defeat of the season. Roland-Jones in red-hot form as he takes his tally to 19 wickets in his last 2 matches. Middlesex's 3rd win of the season makes them serious promotion contenders, while Glamorgan remains 2nd after their first defeat.
Good.